are live at 5. Let me check on YouTube to make sure we doing what we need to do. Start recording. Oh, I don't.
Do.
Let me check on YouTube to make sure we live or what we got.
It popped up on my stuff.
Say that again.
It popped up on me. I follow her. I think it popped up on there.
Hey, there we go. And then I think I'm going to need to share it real quick and we can get to it. What? I don't need all this. I just want to switch. Accounts. There we go. Speak Grunt. Come on, man. I don't need all that. All right. There we go. Whiskey Charlie, I'm about to say you went dark.
I'm here. I'm back now.
Hey, what's going on, world? It's me again, Ethan Smith, a.k.a. Big Sarge, large and in charge of my one and only self, taking myself up off the shelf. Find my greatest internal wealth. Hopefully you doing the same for yourself. Y'all know what it is. It's Sunday and it's time for Speak Grunt, or as I like to say, Grunt Speak. When we come through, we speak to you. We hope that you get down in the chat and you speak to us too, because that's what the show is about. That's what you're supposed to do. We speak about some things that can help you and that can help us too. But you know, before we get into that, what we got to do, I got to send a big salute to the 11 Bs, the 11 Charlies, the 11 Alphas too, and a support crew. You know, the medics, the cooks, the transport guys, and all those guys that help us do what we do to stay alive. Hey, PSA, I must say, this may not be for your kids because some of the words that we use might slide on in there and it may not be the best at the time, but it will definitely strengthen their mind. Not the word itself, but the message that we're going to send to you. So you know what to do. Get down in the chat, talk about that, and make sure you share with somebody. Go to the YouTube channel and subscribe to that. Make sure you share with somebody. Go to the YouTube channel and subscribe to that. We back. I missed last week, but we back this week, and I hope you get on here and you speak, because this is Speak Grunt, and that's what we do. Share with a friend as we sharing with you. Whiskey Charlie, what's been going on, man?
Not a whole lot, Big Sarge. Just work and life in general. Lost a pretty close family member / friend this week. Just out of the clear blue, so that's been pretty rough. He was actually a fellow veteran, part of the first ID. I'm sorry, first cab. He was on first cab. He did back in Korean time, so like right after the Korean War. So lots of good friend of mine. So it's been pretty rough, man.
Well, sorry to hear that, my brother. It is always definitely tough losing anyone, and it seems like it's even tougher when we lose a soldier, because you know all that we do and all that we go through, and we know we are gonna go sometime, but we hate to go at the times when we get back, you know. So sorry to hear that, man. You know, whatever we can do to help you get through, you know, we here for you, brother. Death is definitely something that we've experienced, or I've experienced in the last 2 years since we've been doing this show, from family members to civilian friends, and I think I've lost count of how many military friends. I really don't know. So big salute to his family, and our condolences go out to you and them. But hopefully we know that he is in a better place today, and we just have to deal with our feelings in that way to move forward.
Yes, sir. Actually, he'll be getting buried down in Sam Houston, the veterans area down there. So, I don't know. I've known known him since I was like 2 years old. So I've known him for like 30 plus years now. So it was like an uncle to me. It's something that I can always rely on and reach out for and stuff like that. So it's just like I've been telling some family and friends that are around here. I think the biggest thing for me right now is just the mindset of that it's really true.
Will you be able to attend the services?
Yes, the work's gonna allow me to attend it.
Nice. Yeah, the last and the first time that I was down in Fort Sam for any type of services was for Captain Smart earlier this year. And I went down there and I partook in that. So it's always definitely a tough time when you have to meet up like that in those circumstances and that situation. But understanding that situation changes the situation for not only me and you, but somebody else that's near and dear and close to that soldier too. So all we can do is send our prayers up, help the family get through, and represent them the best way we know how. There's nothing else for us to do.
Yes, sir. That's definitely true, Big Sarge. I would say that we always said it before. 1 minute win, 1 minute war. I'd like to touch on that. My war with me this week is just staying focused and making sure that I'm still driving the way I'm supposed to be, doing it for my family. There's being supportive, family and friends, all of them supportive, all around, working supportive, allow me to take a day off and just kind of take it to myself and just relax and just set to the side and let my emotions go. I think that's the big thing is a lot of people try to hold their emotions in, and it definitely made me feel a whole lot better. Just go ahead and just let it all out. Still have those moments where I'm still going to be having those, but at the same time, grief is one of those things that you're allowed to grieve. Don't try to hold it in. It's not something that you cannot just hold back and not do. Definitely recommend finding that time just grief is just by yourself, or if it's just something unique that somebody there beside you to grieve over a loss, whether it's battles, whether it's family members or whatever else it is, loved ones. Take that time and take off work. Get to yourself and just grieve, and then if you need somebody there to support you, have somebody there for you. But it's just I gotta keep my head on straight. So again, I took my day. I'm still gonna have my moments, but at the same time, I know I've got the support that I need, and I know I can reach out to you if I need to get to that point. I always got somebody I can fall back on too. So.
Grieving is definitely a process. It doesn't happen overnight, and it takes time. And I think you mentioned that. A lot of times we don't take that proper time to grieve the way we need to heal, to get through what we're going through. And I've learned that in losing both of my parents in the last 2 years, that grieving is important. And it hits you at different times in life. It hits you in different ways in life. And dealing with holiday season coming up, two of the bigger ones, Thanksgiving Day and Christmas. And not to downplay Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day coming up to my veterans next week. Not downplaying at all, but on a grander scale, Veterans Day is not big as Thanksgiving and Christmas. And that is definitely a tough time for most families who lost loved ones either during that time, or it doesn't even have to be anywhere near that time. But that's the time when family really comes together. So, yeah, you definitely always can reach out to me or, anybody within the community, because support is what we need. And you don't have to carry that grief alone. That would, you do yourself a disservice when you're doing that, because as I've heard people often say, no one man's an island. Meaning, you're not meant to do it alone. You're not at it alone. So grieve when you need to grieve, because grieving is a process and it hit us at different times in our life. But knowing that you'll be all right, you'll make it through, because we really don't have a choice. We have to, because those that are alive have to continue living. So, yeah, man, that's rough. Excuse me, it's been a very long day.
I definitely would say that. Yeah, of course, definitely. My win, I would say, is my support system. Having that support also just, again, my win is taking that time for myself. Whether, you're going to know if you need somebody there beside you, that type of emotion that you need, that support there, or you may not need it. You may just need to be on that lonesome time, or getting to yourself and just spending it with yourself on that occasion. But also, I knew that I had people saying that they're there to support me. So I would say that, my win is my support system.
Nice. That's amazing. For me, my 1 minute win, my 1 minute war would be this week. I've been talking to my wife a lot about this lately, and I don't think it had, and it's something that I wind up doing every year, and it seems like it happens around this time, is warring with when to pull back and take a break. And what do I mean? Like, some days I feel so stretched thin, attempting to add value to everyone else's life, and I am, but I feel like I'm like a sail blowing in the wind. Some days, I get up, I go to work, 10, 11 hours a day, then I come home and I got a coaching call to get on, then I'm doing a coaching session with a client, then I'm doing a podcast, and it feels like the time is just flying by, right? That's not a bad thing to have, because it's good to be active. But at the same time, we could be overactive and we become reactive, but we're not reacting to the life that we want to live. So my war for me would be right now is when to officially take that break and step away from all my social media platforms for the next 30, 40 days as I'm going into the next year, God willing, to prepare for what he's saying to me and what I'm supposed to do over the next year or the next few months too. So that would probably be my war for me, but the win would be I'm aware of it, and I know that it's coming up very soon, and I know I'll make the date. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I told my wife it'll be like tomorrow, it'll be like Monday. But this day has been so busy, this weekend has been so busy, I haven't slowed down enough to write out what I want to do, how I want to do it, and when to do it. So I may have to push my date back to the right by a week. I know next week I'll be in South Carolina. Shout out to Third Coast Airsoft. I'll be in South Carolina with Sergeant Zuniga and his brother, Lieutenant Colonel Zuniga. And I'll be working an airsoft event. And I know when I come back from that, I'll have a lot more clarity, because I'll have a time to kind of rest and refit and separate from my job. Separating from my family won't be a good thing. That's not something that I'm looking forward to, but at the same time, I will be separated. So it'll really be like being back out in the field, just out training and doing some things with your soldiers. And, when you out there like that, you kind of get a mental break and to kind of see things a different way, especially being out in the element. So I'm looking forward to that. My war, again, would be making the right decision when it's time to take a break for me. The win would be going to South Carolina to do some training with some civilians, and I know it'll have me a little bit more focused on what I need to do and how to do it, and to make sure I still give the people what they need, because it's would be unfair to me to build up this platform and not give the people what they need. Fortunately, have a lot of content that we can send out, and so that's a good thing. But other than that, that's where I'm at. It's another great day. I think you muted, buddy.
That's it. It sounds like you guys got all squared away there, Big Sarge. Just biggest thing is having that mindset of what your war is. And that's the one way that you can win your war is by knowing what you're warring with. So, that's good.
It's important. It's important, and that takes us right into this amazing topic that you gave us that we were supposed to do last week, but it's happening this week, and it's choices. And I want to add to that, you out there in the Houston area, and a pretty famous guy from the Houston area, and make sure I don't say his name disrespectfully, because I heard he be making people disappear. But anyhow, that's a whole nother story. But businessman, entrepreneur, mogul, legend. He's done a multitude of things. And I remember watching on Instagram one day, it came across my reels, and somebody was interviewing Jay Prince Sr. And he made a statement and he said in life, everybody gets two things, a chance and a choice. And to add to your topic of choices, to piggyback off of that, I want to bring in chance and talk about how the two may go hand in hand. So tonight, we want to talk about choices. What are you doing with the choices that you have? And are you making, not anyone else, but are you making accurate decisions for you that you believe is going to move your life forward in a positive way? Whiskey Charlie, what you got to say? You muted again. You muted again. You muted again.
Yeah, that's my problem of being at work and trying to do this. I got people that approach me and try to chit chat with me and everything, but hey, guess what? It's a choice. I want to make sure I'm here, being on here and sticking with what I promised for our fellow soldiers out there is to speak up and speak out for y'all guys. But no, the whole choice thing, man, is life's about choices. There's I think I sent you the link to it, or I sent you the name of it. There's a country song that I heard recently. I've been listening to it more and more recently. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. That's why I sent it to you. But there's about choices and in life that whenever you have that, of course, like you're saying, a chance and a choice. Whenever you have the chance, and it's a choice, you got to take it, like right then and there. If you're ready to go, take it, but also understand that there's consequences. But how you go about it and how important that choice was to you is how you're going to react to that choice.
Absolutely. I'm looking up I was looking to see if I could find the name of the song that you sent me, but I just didn't remember if you sent it to me in Facebook Messenger or in a text message.
No, I sent it to you in text.
Oh, and unfortunately for me and you, I probably deleted that thing, but let me check, because I am a notorious text message deleter.
Well, hold up. Am I like the side piece that you have to delete text message so you
No.
I see how it is.
No, you know what it is?
Yeah.
I have this before I don't know. My phone often tells me it's like I'm running out of space. I don't know what it is. I buy like 2 gigs or whatever through. Huh?
Big artist. Cody Johnson is the singer, but it's Till You Can't.
Okay. Cody Johnson, Till You Can't. But I buy like 2 gigs of hold on. Let me go back. There we go. I buy, I pay for, I don't remember how much space I pay for my storage, but it just seems like I'm always getting something that says you almost out of space. And I know that text messages a lot of times in the background can slow your phone down and do other things to make it a little bit difficult. So I am notorious for deleting text messages. If it's not my wife, like the only text thread that I have that's super long is my wife. And I mean super long, probably running over a year or so. But I delete my kids' text messages. I'll delete my boss text messages. I'll delete coaching text messages. Like, I'm just a notorious text message deleter. I also clear out my my phone call log. And fortunately for me, nope, I don't have anything that I'm hiding. It's just I believe in just wiping the slate clean and moving on. Now, I don't do it often, but I do it easily at least once a week. Definitely. So I was able to pull it up, and I am going to probably share it with you, and then maybe you can talk about a little bit, and if that has anything to do with your topic, this song. And I was able to pull up the lyrics real quick, and we can read through some of it, and you can kind of give us a brief what was your thought process on that, if that's cool.
Yes, sir.
All righty. Cool. So let me go ahead and powerful, man. To me, with that
Yeah,
song,
I told you, like that song right there. I mean, just when I think it was maybe the second time I heard it, and I got actually think the second time when I've actually heard it, I actually started really listening to the lyrics, and it really kind of stood out to me. Is his voice with all those things about Genesis? It's all about voice.
that song reminds me, and how I summed that up, like I said reading the first verse, like, okay, I know where this is going. We often feel like we have time, whatever that may be. Now, I get it. There's 168 hours in a week. There's 24 hours in a day. There's 86,400 seconds in a day. And we look at that as if we have all the time in the world, to say the least. Like he said, I'll get to it tomorrow. I'll work on the car tomorrow. I'll clean the house tomorrow. I'll tell my wife I love her. I'll tell my husband I love him, whatever the case may be. And it's like, if you don't take that chance while you have the opportunity, then you're losing out on a choice that you have to make a better decision for your life and the people around you. And in life, we often think that things is happening to us instead of understanding that things are happening through us based on the choices that we make with the chances that we're given. Because every day that you awake, you are given another chance to make better choices.
Amen there, Big Sarge. Amen. Uh, that's exactly where I was kind of going with this, man. That's the biggest thing on that though too. You touched on right there is this time, man. You don't believe you have it. First of all, you believe you have enough. Sometimes you don't believe you have enough. Whether which one you believe. Sometimes some people believe that they have enough time, some people don't have, and they make those instant choices. But the people that usually make those instant choices, most likely they're probably going to be more successful, or or put themselves into worse situations sometimes. But it's all, again, from that point, you made that choice. It's a self choice, right? And then from that point, you adapt and you go about it however you need to make your life choices, either to better or to keep it going.
Yeah, I was listening to Eric Thomas. Was it earlier today? I mean, I listen to him pretty often, and I want to say it was earlier today, and he was talking about that one of the common denominators they found in most successful people is their schedule and their routine. There's no time wasted within their day. And that's something that I talk to my wife about pretty often. It's like we got these dreams and these visions and these goals, but if you don't put a date on it, if you don't take control of your time, then how can you expect to accomplish those things? And I know a lot of times we put so much responsibility on God, as in if to say he hasn't already done his part. And now he's waiting on us to do our part. And if you don't take control of the time that he's giving you, and I'm not saying, you're not going to know, how everything is going to go, when it's going to happen, how it's going to work out. But if you don't at least attempt to schedule the time that he's giving you, how can you expect your life to get to the place that you want it to be? Case in point, in the military, you knew, because this is grunt speak grunt. So I got to talk to you in a language that we understand. Whether you liked it or not, there was a schedule for everything in the Army. The time you woke up, the time you went to bed, the time you ate chow, how long you basically was cleaning weapons. You may not know you was going to be cleaning them for 3 hours, but the drill sergeant might have known, platoon sergeant might have known. So how long you was going to be in the field? It was a schedule for everything. Even if we didn't always use the time needed, the time was scheduled for you to do something. So you didn't really have too much of a choice where you were supposed to be. And if you was late, you took a chance on putting yourself in a bad position. That's one thing they were saying in the Army. If you're there at the right time in the right uniform, then you are like 50 to 60% right. And if you don't do that in our lives, if you don't, I used to, and I'm going to say used to because I don't have it anymore, and I've been fighting my way back to it, because life throws you some obstacles, life throws you some new opportunities, and things just happen in life. As my wife said, life be lifing. You got a wife and kids, you got a job, kids got school, like life just be lifing. But the thing about life is you get to schedule your life to the best of your ability. And if you're not scheduling your time in, time is going to feel like it's running out on you. It really is. So you have to choose what you're going to do with the time that he gives you. I take a tactical
I like that. I like that saying. I like that saying that your wife said. That's pretty awesome. I actually like it.
Oh yeah, she's a smart one there. She's very smart. Yeah, that's true. Life be lifing. And here's the thing about life be lifing. You get to choose how you see life when it's lifing on you. Because at the end of the day, I tell myself, not every day, getting back to it, this is my mind. I control my thoughts. So when life starts to life on me, I get to decide whether I see that positively or negatively. Like, you have that power to make that choice. And when you make the choice to see things as the glass half full, all the way full, or as the Bible say, cup running over full, then the choices that you make are more productive in your life, and you realize that you don't have time to waste or just give away.
Hey, and also a big thing, though, because it's like also with the whole thing. Also, choices are.
Go ahead, I'm listening. I was looking at my daughter.
Yeah, choices are based off of your choice. You decided to do this, right? And I don't lot of people, take responsibility or take initiative on it. If the choice they chose and they're fucked up, they want to push the blame off on everybody else.
Absolutely.
You got to take ownership. A lot of people just push and like, oh well, I didn't do it. Wait, not call, or I didn't do this to do that. Well, no, you didn't. You chose this route, and this is what the outcome was. Take ownership of it and just find a way to fix it instead of just saying it's somebody else's fault. Take ownership of your own choices in life. If you're not taking ownership of choices in life, then you're probably not making the right choices. You're probably not doing the right thing.
And that's true. That's too much like right though for some people to take ownership of their own things, because we live in a society where there's so many good excuses for why people ain't sugar honey iced tea, keeping it PG. There's so many excuses out there that an individual can use, but not understand that the choice has been given to you. And if you believe in God, Buddha, Allah, or a higher power that you think you're going to have to answer to, then that answer is going to have to come from you. You're not going to be able to put that on your parents or your kids or your job or nobody else. It's going to want to know, why didn't you do what you needed to do for yourself to be in a better position in your life? That's why I talked about my 1 minute win, 1 minute war. That's why I take breaks. It's not to disrespect nobody or be inconsistent, as some might say. But if you feel like you need to take a break to get further and progress in your life, that's a choice you have to make. Now, you take a chance on seeing if your following is still going to be large, if the people still going to rock with you, whatever that means to you. But when you make the right choice to grow you, the people who really care for you, they're going to choose to be there for you, because mental illness, depression, stress, mental strain, that's a real thing. And sometimes it requires a little bit of disconnecting. As I like to say, you got to disconnect from this disconnected world. It requires a little disconnecting in order to get yourself right. Some of the best places to be is alone by yourself. You get to make that choice in what you want to do without no outside influence bothering you. Like, yeah, in the Army, we didn't get the opportunity to make the choices that we wanted to make. But at the same time, you still made the choice for your life that day. You just had to deal with the consequences that came your way if you didn't make the right choice that day. And it's the same thing every day in life today. There's going to be a reaction for every action that we take.
Well, hey, Big Sergeant, one of the things that also kind of brought this topic for me, though, also is that a lot of people, especially the youth, and there's other people, though, outside the youth, I can't just say youth. I'm a manager, and got a lot of people. Well, I don't get paid enough for this, or I didn't choose it. I didn't want to do this, or I don't get paid this, that, and the other. But you chose the job that you went to. You applied for this job. You chose it. Like I tell them, when they come at me and tell me, come to try to come out the sideways, tell me what they can't do and what they're not going to do. I tell them, you know what? The same place, the same door you came in, the same way you go out. But also, you chose some people. We don't recruit nobody. You came and picked us. So now, and you read the job description, so you know you were accepting terms on whenever you applied and what pay you said yes.
Absolutely. It's
now so they all try to do the all fish detail.
It's so funny that you said
That's right, Big Stars. That was their choice. Now, I mean, I understand. Some people are getting things. I mean, but again, it's your choice to maybe find you something to hold you over until you follow your career, your dream. But don't let your choice, affect other people because your choice is not exactly the choice that you wanted. Things reality is not turned out to be the way you wanted.
And I get it. Life be lifing. Because I go to work some days and I find myself complaining when I shouldn't be. Because, like I said, and I was talking to everybody else, I chose the job. The job didn't choose me. And I'm still building my business and my other things on the background that most people don't see. But we do things sometimes to help us out financially in the way we need it to. Hey, beautiful. And the way we need it to. But when you start complaining, it's really only negatively affecting you. Now, it may rub some people the wrong way, but you have to live with that on that day. So it's like, hey, man, you chose your spouse, you chose your house, you chose your car. So you need to choose how you're going to handle those things when it's not going the way that you believe it should go. You don't choose how much time you have on this earth, but you choose what you do with the time that you're given on this earth while you're here. I guess I gotta keep talking because Whiskey Charlie must be busy right now. Hey, y'all gotta thank Whiskey Charlie wherever y'all the chat box is at, cause I don't see it on StreamYards. Y'all make sure y'all get my man Whiskey Charlie's back because he said it. He made a choice to be here every week. That as long as I show up, or we not, family employed or doing something that where we just can't make it to you. But this man is literally walking around work to make sure he bring this message to you, to talk to you about the importance of a choice that you may have. And if you make the right choice, you have a better chance of living the right life that you want to live. And this is no shade to any of my soldiers who are severely dealing with PTSD today. But I was someone that was in that space. But I made a choice to go get help, to go get some therapy. And taking that chance, I was able to do some healing and to let go of some things. And that's what all we really saying to you on Speak Grunt 2. Make the right choice that's going to be better for you, that's going to be productive for you, and it's going to give your family a chance to see a better version of you, to see the man that you can be, to see the woman that you can be. And I know ain't no women grunts out there, not yet, I guess. They supposed to been going to the infantry. That was one of the reasons I had to go. No shade to the ladies, but it's a certain vernacular conversation that we have, and I didn't want to lose my career, so that was a no-no. But choices that we make affect somebody else's life in some way. And if you make the wrong choice, you taking a chance on putting your people in an uncomfortable circumstance, putting yourself in an uncomfortable circumstance. Like literally, we jumped on here with a minute to go. What if I'd have made the choice to just say no instead of doing what Whiskey Charlie said and calling DJ Knox to find out how to get my sound back on because it was acting crazy. Then I had to get my camera back on too. Making a choice and taking a chance on getting everything done, we still got on this thing on time to you. Your choices are powerful.
Hey, Big Sarge. Hey, it's like you were saying earlier, like the dictionary thing. A choice is a multiple. It's nine. A lot of times it's a multiple choice, right? You got a choice that you're picking. You've got to choose the one that's going to best fit you and which one you're wanting. You can't just go with the easiest one, man. You've got to go and challenging yourself more often than you think. You're better than what your mind. Sometimes your mind tricks you. I don't know what part it is. I have the same thing, man. I psych myself out of life, and I try to take the easy route and things, and it costs me longer than what it needs to be. So the biggest thing though is just the choice that you make sure it's the one that you want, right? You can't just choose a job because sometimes you do just need to choose a job to get money rolling. But then, hey, look, as soon as I get in that job, I've got money rolling. I'm going to go ahead and start applying to where I want to be at, right? It's a choice. If you choose, just make sure you put 100% into that choice, no matter what, if it's A or B choice. Put 100% in because you never know what the outcome is. I started at Home Depot. It was literally a big choice when I first started. I literally went to the store. I was looking for a job. I was looking for a job. I was in Houston, and I literally went to the store to pick up a board for a beer pong table. Started talking to the guy inside the store, and then he literally said, "Hey, looking for a job." And then once that happened, boom, popped off. I ended up, following up because I wanted a job real bad. So I followed up on Store Finger like on a weekly basis for like 2-3 weeks straight. Finally, he got me an interview, got me in. But my choice led me to now where I have chosen a career that I'm able to take care of my family without my wife working, being able to stay home and take care of my kids and everything else. And that choice right now has been one of the best choices that I've made in my life.
And that is a very important thing. That's something that me and my wife talk about pretty often. The importance of being able to have someone at home, because you're making a choice on both people in your household working, and you're taking a chance on the education and the leadership of your children and the influence that's happening over their life. And a lot of times we make those choices based off of what other people say, but they don't know the things that your family is going to struggle with from day to day. And then again, you have to, like you said, you just walked in there to get a table for beer pong. You made a choice, but that was the right time, and you taking that choice gave you a chance to build this career that you've built. You making that choice for your wife to stay at home and realizing, hey, we can still do this the way that people said you couldn't. It's giving you a better chance and a better opportunity to be with your children and your wife, and to have them have the upbringing that you desire for your family. Like, nobody gets to make the choice for us unless you find around and let yourself get incarcerated. You go to the military, but even in the military, you can make choices. It's just going to be repercussions with the choices you make if they're in a negative way. But, whew, I keep yawning because I made the choice to get up at like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock this morning, and I've been up ever since. But anyhow, you making that choice is going to tell you what chances that you're taking, or what risk you're taking, or what productive chance you may put yourself in. Again, I said it earlier, the most successful people in life, they make a choice to follow a schedule, even if they don't want to. And by following that schedule, that gives you a better chance at being successful in your life. Warren Buffett, who's like the 4th or 5th richest man in the world, says when he wakes up in the morning, his first 6 hours of the day is dedicated to reading. 6 hours of the day dedicated to reading. What chance do you think he gonna have when he look at the stock markets of what stock to pick? He's gonna have a way better chance than an individual who's reading for 30 minutes or an hour, because he studied the information and studied the material. And we don't make the right choice. We just make a snap decision. Then we haven't given ourselves time to study to really make the right choice to have a better chance of the outcome we want in our life.
Yeah, Big Sarge. Hey, so also with choosing Home Depot, it literally got to, like I said, like a career. I stay with Home Depot, but one of the reasons I chose to go ahead and stay with Home Depot is when we got deployed overseas. Home Depot, and I didn't hear too many people like me over there, but Home Depot paid me half my check, gave me my sick time and personal time as if I was still in the store. So for somebody to take care of me like that, and I figured I'd come back and give it an opportunity that they gave me, I figured I'd put my effort, I drive it, and give them the same type of respect that they gave me.
And that's powerful. Loyalty. They was loyal to you, and you was loyal to them. And I think that's very powerful. And, a lot of times in life, we just don't see it that way. Again, you just walked in there for one thing, and God blessed you with something else. They was loyal to you, and you was loyal to them. And now here it is 10 or 12 years later, you're in a more productive, relationship, probably with your job, your wife, your neighborhood, because you was loyal to something that took a chance on you by you making a choice to say, you know what, yeah, this might not be such a bad thing. It's like even with me, I don't love the job that I'm in, but I'm glad that I made the choice to do it because it's been very beneficial for me and my family. it's not the end of the road for me. I'm still studying for my next job venture as I'm continuing to build my business, because making different choices, I have the choice of not going to work and continuing to sit at home and doing the slow way and entrepreneurship, and that's a chance you taking on putting your family in a tough situation. Or you go to work and you figure out a way to fight your way through it. I read books, I do push-ups, I read my own study assessment, like my own coaching assessment. Like, I make choices for when I'm having a rough day to put myself in a better situation. So therefore I'm not blaming the individuals who are paying me to do what they hired me to do and what I asked to do, because they didn't come find me. I went and found them. And it's the same thing for you. You got to make the right choice to find the people or do the things that's uncomfortable until you have a chance at doing something different. So it's a very interesting thing, man.
Hey, Big Sarge, and we talked about, of course, about timing and stuff like that. And one of the biggest things to me is everybody loves, that 8 to 5 jobs or the first thing in the morning and then they get off and get taken away to do. See, my choice, if I had the choice of choosing right work, I'd always choose afternoons. So if you're talking about how you're able to, get certain things done in time. See, what I like to do is I like to be able to I like to work the afternoon. So I like to get to wake up and do what I want to with my time, take my time and focus on things I need to take care of at home first. And then once I get all that squared away, I can take my focus and put it straight into work.
That is very.
Afterwards, and I don't have to have that mindset. I don't have to worry to get off. I don't have to worry to get off. Rush over here when everybody and their mom works an 8 to 5 job. So now I'm going to have to run into, challenging with other people.
Absolutely. That's again, making that choice is a part of knowing who you are. And sometimes we don't make the right choice in life because we don't know who we are. And we feel like we're getting bad, the chances of getting what we want is bad. No, your chances are good. Again, God knew the plan that he had for you, and it was a plan for you to be abundant and prosperous. But if you don't make the right choice because you don't know who you are, then the chances of you being joyful, not happy, because happy is an emotion that comes and goes, but being joyful are probably going to be slim. But Whiskey Charlie, you got to hold it down when you speak. I got to run to the latrine.
Yeah, so to go back to what he was that we're talking about, choices sometimes are difficult, and that's why it's a choice. You have technically multiple answer type situation, multiple choice. Multiple answer, that's totally wrong, but multiple choice. So you have choices on which way to approach certain situations in life, and you just got to make sure you got to choose the one that's going to satisfy you the most and get you where you want to. So sometimes taking that second choice gets you to where you need to be, may need to be that choice you made. And when you make that choice, you got to make sure you just apply yourself 100%. Because again, you never know what that situation that may end up being that a choice that you were originally deciding on. Just kind of put it on the side because it's not something that you tried to make the career or make the choice or get you where you wanted to go. So I definitely recommend you guys, if you're had to take a B selection, make sure you put your effort, make sure you put your drive in, because ultimately it could be something that can take you to that A spot that you wanted to be in. You didn't have to go any other type of way into that situation. I'm sorry, you guys, that you don't get to see my beautiful face on this video. Of course, I'm at work trying to make sure I get all my stuff all squared away, get things driving and everything else. I got to deal with Big Sarge. But outside that, I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everybody's getting ready for the season that's coming up. Everybody's getting ready to see family. I know Thanksgiving's coming around the corner. I know a lot of families out there got a lot of those Black Friday shopping family members out there. Of course, I work retail, so that's a rough situation right there. It's a lot of no fun. I got to work
Oh,
6 days that week.
oh, I can believe it.
But that was a choice. But that was a choice, though. I chose the job, so there's those there's certain things that you have set behind with a small credit line when it comes around to those seasonal things. You don't often get the chance of spending that time with family on those special occasions and holidays because retail requires the utmost. They try to make every penny and dime they can.
That is 100% correct. When you're in retail, they trying to make every penny and dime that they can make. But at the end of the day, definitely want to leave y'all with this. Do yourself a favor and begin to write. If you don't do anything else, I would say start tonight, start in the morning, and ask yourself the question: am I making the right choices for where I want to be in life? How can I correct the choices that I've made to give me a better chance at being successful? Am I making the right choices? How can I correct the choices I've made? Don't get stuck on how can I correct the choices for too long. It's just a question. Answer it and move on. But am I making the right choices to get to the life that I want to live? Then that's a very important question that you have to ask for yourself. Because if not, you're not giving yourself a chance to be successful in life. I had to ask myself a lot of questions before I got to this point that I'm at today. And they wasn't comfortable. They were very uncomfortable. But asking myself, choosing to check myself and asking myself the right questions gave me a chance to be here before you, speaking to you, talking to you, with my family right here in the home with me, being successful, doing this thing with Whiskey Charlie. So you have to ask yourself, am I making the right choices for my life? And how do I change the choices that I've made to give me a better life? But don't get stuck on that second part. Just know. And you know what? When will I continue to make a choice that'll make my life progress and not feel like I'm just working? Those are the things that you really want to ask yourself and you want to know. And being grunts, being family members of grunts, you need to know, because it's important in order to help you grow. We all have a chance. We all have a choice. And based on the choices that we make in our life, will probably predicate the chances that we take in our life and how we do things in our life. So choice is yours. How you choose to take it, what you choose to do with it, will determine the chances that you have to have a better life. Yeah, that's it. Choices and chances.
Yeah, and just to piggyback out there, when I got to leave you off with you guys, and I kind of touched with it kind of when he was away, but also touched with it a little bit earlier. But sometimes the choice that you immediately make, sometimes, like I did, I made the choices of just taking a chance with Home Depot, and sometimes it winds up being that better choice, but you've got to go in and put your 100% in and showing it. And again, later on, you never know, it may be that choice that you never thought it could be, but it actually winds up being better than any other choice that you would have chosen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You don't always know the outcome of the choice that you're going to make. But just by chance, if you see every choice that you make by counting it all joy and not getting stuck on what you shoulda, woulda, coulda did, then I'm pretty sure God will choose to continue to smile on you. So no one is perfect. We don't always make the right choice at the right time. But if you make a choice, then you give yourself an opportunity at a better chance to change that choice that you made. I know that was a lot of chances and choices for you. But again, if you make a choice at the right time or at a time, you give yourself a better chance, really, of choosing something different. Or as my old company commander said to me, just make a choice. good, bad, or indifferent. Because if you make a choice, then you get another chance to make a new choice. Don't get stuck on the choices or the past choices that you made. Start making new choices for today and ask yourself those questions. Am I making the right choice to better my life? How can I change some of the choices that I made to affect my life? And don't get stuck on that one. And when will I consistently, I just added that part in there, when will I consistently choose to live a better life for me? That's it. That's all I got.
Same here, Big Sarge.
With that being said, I'm glad that we choose to jump on here today. I'm glad that y'all came around and listened. Make sure you go to our YouTube channel at Speak Grunt and you become a subscriber. You click that little bell thing that they talk about so you know when we on and you know what's going on. You share this with a couple of your friends and let them know the choice is yours. This is where you begin. So, on behalf of me and Whiskey Charlie, I want to say thank you again for tuning in. Salute to my 11 Bs, my 11 Charlies, my 11 Alphas too, and the family and loved ones that support you. This has been Speak Grunt, where we come through and we speak to you, and we hope you do the same and share with us too, because speaking is how we really get through. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful Sunday night. I know the day seemed long because you had to roll that clock back, right? Yep. But it's a wonderful day to have a wonderful day. That's it. That's all I got to say. Peace. Let